Welcome, everyone. I would like to call the Williamsburg Independent Board of Education meeting to order. Kim Williams will do the roll call, Alan Steely the Pledge of Allegiance, and Donnie Patrick the moment of silence.
It's on.
Did he roll? Did she recall the roll?
No, I haven't called the roll.
Oh, you'll
Trying to
wait?
get
Shout.
Okay. Alan Steely,
Here.
Roger Faulkner,
No.
Kim White,
Here.
Donnie Patrick,
Whoever that is. Here.
Kim Williams, here.
All right. Please stand. Those of you that are able to get out, please stand. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You'll remain standing for a moment of silence, please. Thank you. You may be seated.
In setting the final meeting agenda, we do not have any additions or deletions. Okay, we do not have a special speaker for today's meeting as well. Relating to public matters, each person wishing to address the Board of Education may do so at this time. Next up, our superintendent and principal comments.
Okay, so at the last meeting, the reason we even have this special call meeting is you guys wanted some more time to think through the policy updates and the traceable communication. We had lots of conversations surrounding the traceable communication system with Senate Bill 181, and we had some people from the staff share their concerns. After speaking with Paul, he is on here, he's our board attorney, and he is still firm on the fact that it is not a good idea to have the gray area of allowing a waiver. So
How can we do this without a waiver? Paul, how can you contact 100 kids? How do you do it? How do you do it? How do you call practice? How do you do this? How do you do it?
So
Without a waiver, how do you do it?
in the June meeting, the board approved an app
I
called
wasn't here.
AptoG Rooms. And because before June 27th, we were required by the state to have a board-approved application for traceable communication. And we went ahead, got all of that vetted, we've had multiple trainings, and it works the same. The only difference is it allows for, if a parent were to ever question, I guess, the underlying motive behind a staff member communicating with a student, they can request to see all transactions. And so by allowing AptoG, whatever system that any board wants to approve, it's traceable by our CIO. So a parent could request to see those communications, and we could print those off and give them to them. So far, it has not been a tough situation. Now, I will say, even we talked last time, it was tough because they gave us a June 27th deadline when we didn't have a building full of staff or kids. And so to get all of that up and running was really difficult. It is up and running, but again, we still don't have our staff or students. And so we have a plan to make sure at the beginning, like our first week of PD, teachers will have an opportunity to go ahead and set them up. They already have access to it. It's already working. And last time we had a meeting, it wasn't. And now it is, and it seems to be moving pretty seamlessly. I'm with you, though. I understand it's frustrating, but the minute you allow a waiver, we have changed the language. Remember last time they were talking about step parents, grandparents. We
Okay.
did change the
Since
language.
I wasn't here in June and was barely here in July and am not here now, tell me how we communicate with ball players in any sport to change a practice, to start a practice, to do this, to do that. How do you do that? Do we have a blanket? We can just like the bell rings or the snow days, everybody gets called. Do you have them on a
Yes.
call thing that they can
Yes.
automatically be called?
Yes.
And nobody has to speak to them? How do you communicate with 100 kids?
It's through the same thing. It's through ThrillShare, just our website host. Same thing that we send out for snow days and all of that. Also, coaches are allowed to have one-way communication through any opportunity that they have.
Okay.
It's the back and forth personal cell phone communication that is in question.
Okay, thank
And
you.
so, we've figured out how to make it work, but I'm with you, I mean, we all feel the same,
That's
it feels
fine.
impossible. But we have figured out how to make it work, we just now have to get it going, we have to get kids in the building and teachers in the building and using it with fidelity. So, I just felt
Okay.
like the turnaround was too fast
Okay.
for districts.
One of the things that I would say, if I can, Ms. Housekeeper, in addition to that, using the app, it would allow the system, from what I understand, to randomly monitor communications between school personnel and students. Right now, you have apps, if you have, if school personnel are able to use their own personal cell phones to text back and forth with students, you have no way of monitoring that, no way of tracking it. The only way that you could obtain that information would be by a subpoena or a court order, and that is entirely too cumbersome, and it's just not going to protect the system, the students, everyone, the way that using this app does. And just like Ms. Housekeeper said, I don't believe that we should have a waiver. I think that we should be very thoughtful in our policy and allowing family members, opening up the definition of who could be considered family, to grandparents, to step-parents, people like that. Obviously, they need some sort of waiver, but to just give certain personnel, coaches, teachers, the ability to get a blanket waiver from students, I just don't think that it's going to be tenable. So that's why.
We'll do whatever you say, Paul. We don't have a choice, so it doesn't matter. Just tell us to vote and get it over with. You all work it out. We just gotta approve it, right?
Yes, and so what we're approving down in the action items is we're approving the revision to the policy to remove the language that allows for a waiver. We're also approving to add to the definition of family members. And what I am proposing that we approve for adding for family members is to include grandparents and step-parents. The only caveat is they have to be in our student information system in Infinite Campus. Because if you're on the pickup list for a student, shouldn't you be able to communicate with them? And so that is our way to not have a waiver, but to allow the people that need to be texting and messaging with kids to be able to do that. Like my mother-in-law is an example. She needs to be able to text my daughter if she's here to pick her up. So it's not a waiver, but she is in Infinite Campus as an approved person on the pickup list because she has been vetted, has her license on file, and so on. And that would protect us in a court of law after Paul and I discussed it. Okay, the other question that you all had last meeting was about the human sexuality policy. It wasn't anything to do with the policy. It was, I had a board member request, what are we actually doing with that and what does that mean for us? And so after Paul and I reviewed it, it really doesn't change anything from what we're doing. So I'm gonna let Paul summarize that it could change what decisions we make in the future, but it doesn't change what we're currently doing. It's just making us more cognizant. So I'll let you share.
So Senate Bill 188, which is the omnibus bill that made a lot of these changes, it amended a Kentucky statute which basically establishes a policy regarding human sexuality, and if schools offer a curriculum regarding human sexuality, it must include general instruction regarding abstinence, sexually transmitted diseases, things like that. There are restrictions on which children can take advantage or would be able to participate in those types of classes.
Based on their
Anyone,
age.
Any child grade 5 or below would not receive any instruction, and that any children in grade 6 or above would have to, their parents would have to consent in writing for them to be able to receive the instruction. If the parents do not consent, then an alternate curriculum or course needs to be provided to them. The policy goes on to state that parents would have the ability to inspect the materials that, to determine whether they are appropriate for their child. A child could not be punished or in any way penalized for not taking the course, and that the curriculum would be subject to review. But it just as Ms. Housekeeper said, it really doesn't change anything that we're already doing, from what I understand, as to the policy.
Paul, thanks for reviewing that for us. I just wanted to make sure that what we were doing went along with what we were saying we were doing or not doing. Thank you.
Does that answer your question? Okay. And then there was one question about sextortion. There's a policy created on that, and basically that policy is telling districts that it is our job to make sure that there is information hanging in the hallways, posters available for families. There will be information on our website regarding that. Josh and I worked a long time on our website last night getting the new policy requirements added there. It's not gone published yet. It's just we're working on the back end to make sure it looks right before we submit it. But basically our job is to make sure, just like Grant and Donna's job, is to make sure that our kids are trained on cybersecurity and how to stay safe in the digital world. We also now need to make sure that they have access to what it means for human trafficking, for any kind of exploitation of them in sexual nature. And so we will make sure that from the Kentucky Center for School Safety, we'll get our posters, we'll get all of the things that are required, and it's required for grades 6 to 12 to have access to a hotline in case they need to report something. And my vision of that, and I haven't spoken to Ms. Parton about it yet, but my vision of that is even in bathrooms, to have just the hotline posted so that if kids want to contact the hotline in private, they have that ability. So that's all that requires of us, okay? The only other, I guess, follow-up I have for you guys is you had asked me to have a percentage of our staff attendance, because one of our board goals, and we will go ahead and present all of the board goals at the August meeting. But the problem that we have with the tracking staff attendance, last year we began tracking it, but our tool doesn't paint an accurate picture. The tool that we were using to track staff attendance, for example, we have 1,513 absences among our staff in 1 year. But that also includes maternity leave for several people. It also included our non-contracted days for our extended day employees. And if you think about it, a non-contract day is not necessarily an absence, it's just a day in their calendar that they do not have to work. And so we're working on fine-tuning our tools so that we can give you a percentage to set our goal. So hopefully I'll have that to you guys by the August meeting, and we can set the staff attendance goal. Okay? All right, any other follow-ups that you all have questions about, or?
Why didn't we decide about the wind and hail?
Okay, Ms. Williams had asked about, when we had David Livingston, remember he came and talked about the opportunity for adding a wind and hail damage because now we're like in Tornado Alley or whatever. Dalton, do you wanna speak to that, what his suggestion was? Yeah, yeah.
Not really.
Sorry. Well, the wind and hail buy down, when we spoke about it last year with David, there were only, I want to say 8 or 10 schools in the state that decided to purchase the buy down, and all eight or 10 schools didn't need it for that year. So he advised me last year it's not really a necessary thing for us, but if we wanted to add it this year, I know with the London scare, we can do that. That would just be a little extra cost onto the insurance.
But after talking, we did not feel like it was necessary.
I didn't feel like it was necessary.
Just as we say that though, Alan, what's gonna happen?
Don't,
The roof's
let's
gonna
not
go
speak
off.
it into existence.
We had a fire and y'all put it out. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's right.
That's all I'm gonna say. We had a lot of costs covered, okay?
Yeah,
It's that simple.
I'm starting to think you got some magic in your words.
yeah, I do too. He's a wizard.
He can speak it into existence.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Are there any staff comments? Okay, we're going to move on to the action items of our agenda. Okay, number 1, approval of the July 17th, 2025 board meeting minutes. Are there any questions? Okay. Superintendent Housekeeper recommends the board approve the July 17th, 2025 board meeting minutes. I need a motion.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, like sign. The motion is approved. Number 2, approval of the traceable communications policy 08-2324 for the 25-26 school year. Are there any questions? I need a motion to approve this action item.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, like sign. The motion is approved. Number 3, the approval of the 2025-2026 employee handbook. Are there any questions? Superintendent Housekeeper recommends the board approve the 2025-2026 employee handbook. I need a motion to approve this action item.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, like sign. The motion is approved. Number 4, approval of the revisions of the attendance policy 09.123 for the 25-26 school year. Are there any questions? Superintendent Housekeeper recommends the board approve the revisions of the attendance policy 09.123 for the 25-26 school year. I need a motion to approve this action item.
Motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, like sign. The motion is approved. Number 5, approval of the Kentucky Department of Education School and Community Nutrition Permanent Agreement. Are there any questions? Superintendent Housekeeper recommends the board approve the Kentucky Department of Education School and Community Nutrition Permanent Agreement. I need a motion to approve this action item.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, like sign. The motion is approved. Number 6, approval of surplus items listed on the July surplus list. Are there any questions?
I'll tell you, it's the same list, only we, after the 17th meeting, we found more things we want to throw away. So, I will always add it to the consent agenda, just so you know.
Okay. All right, Superintendent Housekeeper recommends the board approve the surplus items listed on the July surplus list. I need a motion to approve this action item.
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, like sign. The motion is approved. Number 7, approval for the 2025-2026 cross-country team to host meets at the Whitley County Fairgrounds during this season.
I will say I'm gonna need to make a revision to that. It needs to say, cross-country team to host meets and practice,
Okay, in practice.
because all
Do
we
they
need.
have to run across the tracks?
Well, right now, we gotta fix it because of the Whitley County Fair, it needs some work. But the reason we need that is for our insurance, the minutes that I provide today, Dalton will be able to submit it to our insurance carrier to say that our kids are covered out there.
Okay. All right. Superintendent Housekeeper recommends the board approve the 2025-2026 cross-country team to host meets and practice at the Whitley County Fairgrounds during this season. I need a motion.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, like sign. The motion is approved. Are there any board member comments? All right, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, like sign. The motion is approved and the meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you
Hey,
for coming and have a
Hey,
great
hey,
rest of